to the yard and it came back fatter. She keep it 100, gotta throw a stack at her. Heard she got a man, don't none of that matter, act bad.
Hey you guys, welcome back to Wind Down Wednesday. We're here with another episode and another special guest. We want to welcome Shanell. Hey Shanell, introduce yourself.
Hey girl. Okay, so
this is my girl, y'all.
What am I?
Just tell them who you are, what you do.
And what I do and all the things. Okay, so
yes, ma'am.
I'm Shanell. I go by Shanell Lamere, and I kind of do a lot.
Right.
I do a lot. So I am a serial entrepreneur. I call myself that because I do a lot. I have a commercial cleaning business. Y'all probably heard of Shanell Lamere Films. Woo woo. So that's my videography business, and I'm also the host of a dope Black podcast called What She Grows Through, all about women of color, empowering each other, you know, and I'm also a mommy of two. I have a 6-year-old son and a 2-year-old little girl. And then Shanell, like me as a person, I'm still figuring that out, you know, but so far so good. I'm liking this woman, so I think we'll get into that, so I won't.
Yes, ma'am. Said I'm liking this woman.
Right.
I love that for you. I'm so excited to have you on, and look for me on her podcast, y'all, because I know I'm going to come feature on there and talk to y'all, so be prepared for that, because I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here, and it's her birthday weekend.
Yes.
So happy birthday.
Yes. Right, so this is important, like this is big for us.
Yes.
You know, so she's being a part of my birthday.
Yes, birthday content.
I appreciate you for that.
Birthday looks, yes. Birthday weekend.
Yeah.
We're in this beautiful hotel. So it's a celebration. Not only is it your birthday, but this is season 2 of Wind Down Wednesday, episode 2.
Okay.
So you're the first lady that I'm having on season 2. Because we started off we started the first season. We started off season 2 with Mandela. He's he's episode number 1 and you're episode number 2. So we got the media gang going on right now. So it's gang, it's a celebration. So before we get into this talk, you guys, as y'all can see, she beat me to the punch. She already got her some out of her glass.
I ain't even gonna say that. I was looking. They probably see me looking. I wanted to grab it a couple times. But.
Now let's get into one of these. So what you thinking? I see you already are drinking on a rosé. Right? Or is that a Moscato?
What was it?
I don't know. I can't tell. I think that's I want to say
I think it's I don't know. It is Moscato.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, so this here. So this is new. I actually seen this, and it was right at the very front. They were advertising it. I've never...
House Jam.
Yeah, I've never tried this before. So it's called House Jam Cool Pink. And let's see. Is it something sweet? Let's see.
It says yummy.
Wait,
about a palate. Okay.
It says made with grapes for rosé. It's a rosé, so it should be pretty sweet. So let's just get into it. Usually I give them the whole spiel on the back, but not today. Wait, hold on. Sometimes these give me a run for my money. Like.
All right.
So you already had you something pink and sweet going on. So let's start off with the pink and sweet.
Well, let me taste it for real. So
yes, ma'am.
I like it. Okay, because I am a sweet chick. So
are you? Everyone is. It seems like it's bubbly too. So I know it's gonna be nice and sweet. Let's see. Wait, we got a cheers.
Oh yeah.
Cheers to your birthday. Cheers to season 2.
Season 2. Wow, Wednesday. Let me just say, I'm so proud of her.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It came so fast. I'm like, season 2 already.
But the fact that you're continuing to be consistent with it. Like,
Absolutely.
when I first saw that she was starting these, it's like, wow, yes, Malaya, she's doing it.
Because how long?
Right.
How long? Look, listen, I be trying to tell them. It took me years to finally hop on YouTube. And it's like, once I started doing this is different than what I expected. I thought I was going to be like one of them vlogging YouTubers and stuff like that. Then I ended up doing this. And, like, I keep having guests and people to be involved. And I'm just like, oh, yay. I love this. I love this for me. Look, 5, 6, it's been years in the making. So here we finally are. We're finally in the YouTube game. Yeah. Me and you both. So let's get it. This is my content partner, y'all, for real. Like, whenever.
Y'all gonna see us more.
Yeah, literally. Like, we literally meet up and just help each other. Like, look, girl, I need new pictures at this point. I need some Instagram pictures. I need some headshots. I need a couple little reels. Like, what you doing? Come on, let's go to this place. I found something cute. And I want to get on here and talk about that. Like, talk about media. First of all, how you got into it. Do you feel like you're walking in your purpose? How has it helped you grow as a person?
So we just getting all into that. Yes. So I start right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So how did I start? So I told you I was a mom, right? So, no. I started before being a mom. So I went to the University of Pittsburgh, main campus. Whoop, whoop. Hell to Pitt. But when I was supposed to be studying, I was on YouTube watching makeup tutorials, trying to learn my makeup and all this stuff. And I realized, like, I can do that. Like, let me try it out. So I started making makeup tutorials, but I realized as I was continuing on, I like the editing process of the makeup. I mean, I did look cute, but it was more so like editing and putting all of it together. But then once I got pregnant, I wanted to capture all those little moments of being pregnant. So the gender reveal, I think I recorded when my mom first found out. Like, really? I gave her a bag and it had like little footsies in there.
What did she say?
She's like, oh, which one? Because it's me and my sister. She's like, which one are you niggas? So that was important for me. So I started putting these together. And then as I started sharing it with other people, they enjoyed it. And like, I don't know. It's like some kind of like fulfillment when other people are like tuned into that, like something as special as like motherhood.
Right.
So I just wanted to capture everything. But other people wanted me to record theirs. And like, can you do that for me? Right. Can you? And it started with my best friend. I was always taking her pictures and recording videos. And I gotta post one of my videos. Because that's when like the stabilization was like all the way off. That shit was shaky as hell.
What you sound walking around like?
It was like.
That's how it be.
But they loved it though. They loved it. Like, shout out to the growth.
For real. That's another thing that keeps you going, because you be like, oh my gosh, look at this old stuff. And it's funny because you love it the most when you first start.
Right.
Then you look back and you're like, oh my God, I was too weak in it. And it's like, look how horrible this looks.
Look at it. Right. But people was loving it though. Yes. Nobody was doing that. Like, nobody really was taking pictures. But I always, I was in high school taking pictures.
Me too.
Like, take this. I was in high school with heels on. I was doing the most. I can't believe that. My mom, shout out to my mom for letting me do that though.
Right, for letting you be you.
Right. I went to Perry.
Oh,
so I was part of the Perry Pearls and all the things, you know.
And you know Perry was a fashion show school.
Right.
Oh my goodness, fashion show school.
So I realized that I wanted to make it into a real deal. So the commercial cleaning thing, I was in the mental health field, but they didn't really give me that much money. And I wanted to be with my son more. So commercial cleaning, it let me clean for maybe 2 hours, and I'm getting paid damn near the same amount as what I'm getting paid for with a degree. Right. But now I got time for my son, and now I can actually focus on videography as a passion and not have to worry about getting paid for it. But then as I started getting more clientele, I wanted to be legit, and I'm like, this should be a real thing. Yeah. Like, let me get legal.
Yeah.
So I did that in 2019. And then just with the pandemic and as being an entrepreneur, being a mom, just being a daughter to a mother who has her own mental health issues, I had to figure out a way to get that out. So I started blogging. But then, like, that's hard to do, like, with SEO and all that. Yeah. I'd rather just talk. I like to talk, right? So that's why I started What She Grows Through, and then just talking about like the things that I was growing through in those moments, and then allowing other people to share their stories, and us to just connect with one another and talk from the lens of a Black woman, because, you know, we don't really get those opportunities.
Yeah, to do it our way.
Exactly. So we got to provide more space for each other and to connect with each other. So that's kind of how that started. And even as I continue to struggle with my own self-limiting beliefs, all I got to do is log into my portal and look. It don't matter how long I've been gone, like people still listen to this stuff, like listen to it, and that just like continues to motivate me, like, oh, you know what, I'ma do it. So now I want to be consistent, and I mean it's a big deal, and it helps me get back into that mental health aspect. So now I'm trying to put more of what I learned and what I did with my clients, because we would have whole ass conversations like this, and actually being able to do that my own way and get paid off of that, because niggas got a degree,
and excuse me, and put your own spin on, you know, the production side of it. And I wanted to touch on how you had said, you know, like I was basically speaking on what I was growing through. And that's something that I speak about all the time, which is purpose. I feel like when you can use your profession or something to help other people, that is also helping you. You know what I mean? Like you're helping people grow and, you know, work on their mental health and feel better about what they went through, feel not alone while you're doing the same thing for yourself. You're like, oh, okay, you went through that too? Like, look, I can relate, and this is how. And I feel like that's kind of what this show is for me. You know what I mean? Like, hearing other people's stories and perspectives and just, like, how they kind of fell into their purpose. Like, I feel like it's never a intentional thing.
Aww,
you know?
That's cute.
Yeah. I feel like it's never an intentional thing. Like, everyone's story, the common denominator is like, oh, well, I kind of found myself doing this because, you know, I was at a dark space in my life, or I had to figure something out. Like, I had to get to it, you know what I mean? And it's like you kind of fall into something that you didn't really see yourself doing. And I feel like that's purpose.
Right.
You know?
But the thing is, what's interesting about it, like when you're doing your self-discovery and all that inner work, you got to start, like, digging deep in there. So I started Clubhouse and connecting with other people. But then they're like, okay, well, what's your story? And I had to really think about it. Like, what is my story? You know, and piece it together so that I can tell other people. And that's when I realized that I got into the mental health field because I was trying to understand my mom. Like, my mom struggles with major depressive disorder even to this day. So I was just growing up in a home with that atmosphere. And then, like, you know, her not really having her dad in her life. So she kind of depended on other men, you know. So I kind of looked at that. Me and my sister looked at that, and I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be that. Right. But then as I continued on my path, like thinking into it, I'm like, damn, like I kind of was falling in those footsteps. Like, even though I wanted to start from, you know, foundation, like start like new and young and stuff, I realized I was in some wild ass relationships, and I was emulating basically what I saw from my mom.
Cycles.
It's a whole wow. Because
you grow up and that's your norm. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly believe that regardless of what your, like, mass environment is, your home, you know, it all starts in the home, and the person who is primarily caring for you, whether it's your mother, your father, your grandparent, uncle, whoever that first role model is for you, that's what your norm is. Like, you know, you grow up seeing that, and until you get old enough to realize, like, wait a minute, something ain't working, you know what I mean? That's when you realize that it's not normal, and you start to unlearn it.
Unlearn, and relearn.
Yep.
And starting to surround yourself with, you know, the people that you're trying to be like. Start uncovering and start learning yourself. Like I said, I'm learning myself, and up until like a couple years ago, I'm thinking like, what was I doing before? Like, I don't even remember. Like, now that I'm like over the hump, right. I don't remember what I was doing before.
Right.
But I like how, like, who I am right now, and just this whole inner work. Like, I went down to my middle school yearbook, and it's like, what did you want to be when you grow up?
Yes.
It said a cosmetologist or a businesswoman.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, Shanell, like, you kind of was knowing what you was trying to do. Because mental health is not in there. That's kind of what it was. Exactly. But now, you know, I was always, like, into fashion and stuff. Yeah. Like, so that's kind of that part. But then the businesswoman, look, entrepreneurship. Like, yes. I didn't even realize that I wanted to do that until going back to see what I wanted to do.
You're like, oh, I've been wanting this. Because when you're a kid, that's when you know who you are. Mm-hmm. Like, you know who you are when you're a child. In the world, as you keep on walking in the world and meeting different people and being influenced by different things, and people telling you, oh, no, this is how you need to move if you want to be this kind of person.
Right.
This is what you shouldn't say. This is what you should say.
This is what you should do.
Yes, you start to mold into that to the point that you kind of lose who you were, you know, from the beginning, but you're always going to kind of stay within those lines. But you're like, wait, hold on, let me spend some time alone, away from the influence, that I can be like, all right, what's really good? Like, what do I want? And that's why people say find your inner child, because when you were a child, that's when you were the truest.
With no limitations, like, without other people coming to tell you how it's supposed to be.
The organicness, like, just that being organic and not worrying about what they want from you, but what you want.
The ability to wonder again, like to use your imagination, like,
and to be open.
Yeah,
to be able, because you know, as adults, now that we've seen freaking consequences and seen scary things, we're like, oh, I don't want to avoid that
fear.
Yes, fear. Yep, we grow up into fear, and it's crazy because that's what makes us rethink things. When we were a kid, we were limitless. We were limitless. Like, we'll touch bugs, or, you know what I mean? Like you said,
I was playing with worms and stuff, like making mud pies.
Now we'd be like, hold
jumping on. Listen,
what disease you carrying?
I was a tomboy. I was jumping. We was jumping on roofs, climbing on bars and shit. Like, I think I got I don't know if it was like ringworm or like scabies or something. I was in a hospital.
Yes.
Like, I
getting
was
rubbed down with stuff because you outside playing in dirt. Yes. We all went through that because we were fearless. We just wanted to do. Like, if something sounded cool, we're like, oh, we doing that. Like, let's go outside and do that, y'all. Let's go do that. Now, as an adult, you have things to lose. You're a mom. You have other people to think for. So you have to reconsider. Like, all right, do I really want to do this? Mm-hmm. What are the bad things? You got to think about
other people.
Yeah, how can this go wrong? We always think about how it can go wrong, even before we think about how it can go right. And I think that that's so unfair to us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because we kind of sell ourselves on the negative before we sell ourselves on a positive. And I feel like a lot of times we leave 80% of our ideas or thoughts or curiosity on the table because of that, you know? So
that's a good thing. I mean, a good what you just said.
Point.
Yeah.
No, so with being an entrepreneur, because I speak to a lot of my entrepreneur friends, and one common denominator we always say is like how it's really scary because it's uncertain. Mm-hmm. You don't know what kind of day you're going to have, week, month, year.
You're taking risks.
And you being a parent, like, what do you do that kind of like gets you over that fear, over that hump, to keep you going in, you know, your passion? But you know what I'm trying to ask? Like, how do you get past that?
I mean, they said this, what did they say? There's this one quote, or I don't even know if it's a quote, but they basically said, like if you're in hell, like, why would you stop? Like, if you feel like you're in hell, like, why would you stop in hell? You know, you got to keep going. Mm-hmm. So that's my thing, to just continue to keep going. There's so many times, like, where I feel like I just don't. Mm-hmm. I don't. But, like, do I want to stay where I'm at? No.
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so much, like, and I think it also comes down to, like, the mental health piece. Because I can get myself out of certain situations, but using, like, you know, the certain things in my toolbox, the different coping skills, journaling, that definitely helps me to just like write down like all my thoughts, because our brains, we're always going to think of the negatives because we're on this survival mode, you know, but how can we switch from survival to start thriving, you know?
Right.
And that's kind of hard with entrepreneurship because it's so uncertain.
Right.
So I think what helps me is honestly my cleaning company. Like my cleaning business helps me because at the end of the day, I can clean, and I do clean now. Like I'll go and clean, and I'll always know that I can have that to help me, like so that I can so I can figure it out like with my videography business. But I don't know, what was the question again?
No, you actually answered it. I was basically just trying to get to like, okay, you know, being like, because I know when you're a parent, a lot of people in the past generation has said, you know, we have dreams, but I had to put my dreams on hold because I have kids. So like it's a lot more prevalent to be an entrepreneur these days, and it makes me wonder, you know what I mean, like how do you be a parent and still be an entrepreneur, even though, you know what I mean, like where did the whole, I gotta put my dreams on hold?
But it's doable. But that's the thing. Like when you're a parent, they think that when you're a parent, everything gotta stop.
Right.
But who said that?
Right.
Like I'm still Shanell. At the end of the day, we get caught up in parenthood, in motherhood. But you gotta remember, that's just one of the titles. That's a title that you picked up. But who are you? You gotta figure out who you are, and that's where we get stuck at.
Right.
Like we don't. I'm a mom, and now I can't do all the things.
Right.
Why can't you?
Right.
It might be a little hard. You might got to figure it out. You might got to adapt and pivot a little bit. Like it's all in the pivot for real. Like I can still do all these things, and I can say right now it's very hard. Like having one child, like I miss having one child. I'll be like to Bryce, I'm like, Bryce, you remember when it was just us? Like, but now this little girl, often. Yes, it's very much ghetto.
Shut up!
When you have another one, when you have multiple, like I don't even understand.
Not as giving ghetto.
Yes, and the thing is, like,
I think
I'm a new mom. Yeah, I'm a new mom, and it's not even the same as when I was when I had my son. Like it's all new, and I don't got it together, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. As long as I'm not like displacing like my situations like on my child, as long as they're happy, like you know, I can go cry in the car or something like that. You know, take it a day at a time. Like write down, like you know. At the end of the day, you're taking care of human beings. Like, that's a job in itself. Like, that's dope that you can do that. So, it's all about how you think. It's all in your mindset. Like, I'm a mom, and it's dope that I can be a mom, but I can do these things, too. And I can still, like right now, like, somebody is watching my kids, and I'm in my city, but got a hotel room to get some space, like, for me, for my birthday. Like, I don't want to have a daughter right now. Like,
did you turn ratty?
Like, yes, it's about me and my birthday.
Said, I don't want to
I'll see her tomorrow.
Right
like, but it's important to, like, you know, be able to have, and I won't even say balance, because sometimes, like, it won't be balanced, but, like, how can you have all these different titles and live with harmony with it? Like, you know, with entrepreneurship, with being a mom, with being all these things. Like, you gotta give, you gotta give a little in each category, and then allowing time for yourself to figure out what it is that you want, because if you're not good, then it's gonna rub off on your kids. So you gotta start with yourself first.
Absolutely.
Like it's so important to start like with yourself, and just you'll figure it out. We all don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, right. And
okay.
In almost any aspect, right?
It's okay. We'll be all right.
Yeah, because what makes you a champion is that keep going. It's the fact that you're continuously putting effort on the field. You're continuously having skin in the game. And I feel like that's what makes a champion. You know, it's not about, nobody can determine how the game's going to go. You just got to go in there and play your absolute best. And I feel like that's what we do as humans. And I'm happy you said, it's funny because Another guest of mine before had made a quote, like, you know, more than just a mom. Mm-hmm. And you touched on that. You were saying how, like, you know, just because you're a parent, that's just a title you picked up. And she was expressing that as well. She was like, there was a point in time in life where I felt like I was nothing but a mom. Mm. Like, she didn't feel like a human. She didn't feel like she mattered anymore. And I'm happy that you were able to, you know, give your viewpoint on that, because I know a lot of women struggle with that and need to hear that. Mm-hmm. And I was having a conversation literally today about how there are 3 parts of yourself. There's the business part of you, like the professional part. There's the part that you give to your family, and then there's the part that's for yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, and the part that is for yourself, that's the child. Like, that's who you came into the world with. You came in here alone before you knew how to be a family person. Mm-hmm. Before you knew how to give to a business or the world. Right. So I think the most important layer of self is the one that you have for yourself, that you keep private, that you don't even show the person that you might sleep with and wake up with every night. You know what I mean? And keeping that time and keeping that person alive is extremely important, because that's the first layer of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we get caught up in these other ones. Like, we become, especially women these days, we become career women, and we're like, we don't even want to have children. We don't want to get married. We don't want to be women anymore because we want to be so career driven. Right. You know, which takes away from the family part and the us part. So, like, I just feel like everything that you just said is just explaining how important it is to keep that first layer alive, which is the inner child, the you being you before being a mom, before being a wife, before being a businesswoman, you know? Yeah. Just being self.
I love that. And I honestly think that there's more. I read this book. It's called The Code to the Extraordinary Mind. Mm-hmm. It is amazing. I honestly don't really want to tell people about it because it's so dope. Because, but y'all can read it. Like, it's going to change y'all life. But they talk about the 12 areas of your life. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely like your career, like your family. I don't know all the 12 areas. I'm gonna do an episode.
Top off. Yes.
I like this.
Thank you. Me too. It's a real sweet. Yeah. Look, I'm getting into the sweet wines now. I used to be like,
I'll be like, oh my goodness, and then like it tastes like juice, and then you realize like you kind of tipsy.
See, I don't know. The dry wines still get me quicker. Yeah, they do. But I'm starting to get into it. I'm starting to be like, okay, because I've had so many guests and drank so many like sweeter wines with my guests because they like that more. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. But it's juice, you know? Right. So whatever.
But yeah, the Code to Extraordinary Mind, it'll definitely take it up a notch. So a big thing that I've been learning is reading. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Girl, game changer.
Audible. Game changer. Because I do so much. It's hard for me to just sit down and read a book. Now I'm driving and I'm reading. I'm cleaning and I'm reading. Now it's therapeutic. Mm-hmm. Like, I will stop mid and then just be like taking notes like, oh, like let me write this down so that I can talk about this. And then like in my episodes, I'm referencing like 4 books. Now I'm smart.
Now I'm smart. Like, can you stop? I'm cracking up. Now I'm smart. No, for real. Reading is a game changer. Even if it is like, you know, audiobooks, like it just opens up your mind so much.
Yeah, honestly. I think that definitely has changed the game. Yeah. And it allowed me to kind of like bloom into a better version of myself, and now it's allowing me to share that space with other people, to empower other women to feel the same as I feel. Because we need help. Sometimes, like, especially entrepreneurship, we feel like we're all by ourselves because we have all this stuff that we have to do. But, like, who said we had to do it by ourselves? Mm-hmm. Like, the white people, they come together. Yeah. They come together and they collaborate and all the things. But then we feel like, you know, this whole crabs in a barrel. Like, we feel like we can't all make it to the top. Like, but that goes down to, like, our subconscious mind passed down from, like, generations to generation. Like, you know, the mulattoes was in the house. And, you know, like, but it comes down.
We was all getting beat.
Exactly.
Everybody
we felt, but the thing is, we felt like we was better because we was in the house. Meanwhile, listen, let's not talk about that. But just, we was all on the same thing, though. But, like, we felt like we had, like, a certain level above each other. And it kind of passed down from generation to generation where it's like, oh, well, if I'm up here, you can't be up here because I'm up here. Yeah. You know, like...
And not only that, I feel like it's a psychological thing where, like, that fear again, because we think that there's not enough.
Exactly.
We think there's not enough. Like, okay, I'm podcasting now, so now all of y'all have to be my competition, and I don't want anybody new to make it through because there's not going to be enough to eat. Right,
because if you do it, then I can't do it. Then you're going to be better than me. Then
and that's never true.
Who said that?
That's never true. That's literally something that has been beaten into our minds, thinking that there's not enough. You know what I mean? Like, oh, shortage. There's a shortage. There's not a shortage. There's really not. So it's like there are so many industries that we look at as oversaturated, or there's not enough room, or there's
she's doing that, so I can't do that because everybody's doing that.
Everybody's doing everything.
Right.
You know how many people are on this earth?
Right.
Everybody's doing everything.
They can't. There too many people is doing that, so I ain't gonna do it because too many people.
I feel like that is something that Black people suffer from so bad, is believing that there's not enough. And it does stem from back in the day, you know what I mean? And we struggle with that, and we have to tell ourselves, even as an individual, you know what I mean? Like waking up having a fear of not having enough, having a lack mindset, that'll make you lack because you already believe that there's not enough. But when you know that there's more than enough, you're going to treat yourself that way. You're going to move that way. Like, oh, let me go get some because there's enough for me. And I feel like if us as individuals, if we all take on that mindset, like there's more than enough, we'll be more than happy to help each other.
Right.
Because we know that it's not going to take away. Me doing a podcast ain't going to take away from what she goes through. What she goes through is not going to take away from Wind Down Wednesday.
And that's why we collaborate with each other.
Exactly.
Like, because we already know what it is. Like, you help me, I'll help you. You help me.
Look, y'all, we get more content done together in a 4-hour time span than what I can do, like, all alone in a week. You know what I mean? Like, we'll be like, all right, bring 3 to 4 outfits. We're going to take pictures here, here, here. We're going to get a couple videos. We're going to take reels. Look, I need you to get this angle. And it's like we can accomplish this in one shift. What we can't do, or what we can, but it's tougher to do in a whole week span of trying to get content by yourself. So it's like, being that we know that, we could get the same exact shots, the same exact photos. It's going on 2 different platforms for 2 different reasons, to 2 different audiences. You know what I mean? So it's like, we know that there's enough. There's more than enough. It's plenty. So share, you know, have some.
And I think it's called, a growth versus a scarcity mindset. Like scarcity meaning like, you know, like there's not that much, but like when you're on a growth mindset, you realize that there's enough for everyone. And when you think about it, as thoughts become things, because as you're reading, you know, everything is energy.
Yes.
You know, like everything, even our thoughts, like, is energy. It just, whatever you believe in your head, if it's negative, it's going to come true because your subconscious mind doesn't understand the thing between not, like, no, and like not, like true and not true. So if you're going to continue to think about these things, it's going to come true. So like even my mom, like in terms of like depression and, oh, I'm in the house, or, oh, I'm this and that, you're telling yourself that. So that's what you're going to be. Your subconscious mind is like, yeah, okay, well, that's what it's going to be. So it's important to try to like figure out ways that you can switch it to a growth mindset, and having these different tools, and being around other like-minded people who are out getting it, who are doing the things that you aspire to be. Be around people who inspire you, who motivate you. Be the people who like, nah, we ain't being negative today. No, we're not going to sit down. We're going to do what we need to do today. Right. You know?
And also putting your pride to the side. Like, don't be afraid to be the brokest person in the room. Yeah. Because if you're in a room with people who got more money than you, that means you're in a room with people that have more experience than you, more knowledge than you.
You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. No. You're in the wrong room if you're the smartest.
Listen. Say that again, because...
Like, what? Like, I'm trying to be in the room with some dope people, like, damn, you doing all that.
Yes, because then
all right, well, look, I'm going to get like you. I want to be like you when I grow up. Right.
Because what position do you want to sit in? What chair you want to sit in? You want to sit in the chair where everybody's sipping from you, or do you want to be in the room where you're sipping from everybody? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine that. Like, okay, I can absorb from everybody in this room versus, all right, y'all are all looking at me, absorbing from me. You're going to run out, and then you're going to look up and wonder, like, dang, who can... Anytime, this is something that Black people especially, we have these conversations a lot. Dang, I feel like people call on me and they depend on me, and they ask me. And then I look around and I wonder, how come I don't have nobody? Who can I ask for advice? Who can I ask for help? You want to know whose fault that is? Yours. Because you're not choosing to be in the right room. I remember saying things like that out of my mouth, and then I was like, hold on. That's my fault. You know what I mean? What am I doing? I need to change my surroundings. That is that simple. Right. It's that simple. Right. So, you know.
That's a good point.
Elevate your company. It's not hard. And don't ever feel like you're less than. Don't ever feel like you're not worthy to be in a room where people have more than you. Yeah. Because they're going to respect the fact that you want to learn. You're able to put your pride to the side.
Yeah. What can you learn from them? If they're up on this success, if that's what success is for you, first of all, you got to figure out determine what your level of success is. Absolutely. Because some people success might be more time. Success might be more money. Mm-hmm. So you got to figure out what that means to you, because that's why a lot of these a lot of these people with a lot of money, mm-hmm. they're miserable because they didn't figure out like what success means to them. Right. Because now they're up here with all this money, but yet like their family is struggling, like, because that was what was important to them. Yeah. Like, so you got to figure.
And they're playing out someone else's definition of success.
Right.
Like, I know me personally, I want to be able to work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to run around and work 10-hour days, 12-hour days in order for me to be okay. I want to be able to check in on what I need to check in on and have my freedom, but still be okay. Right. And whether that's filthy rich, whether that's just, you know what I mean, doing well, I don't really care to be super rich or anything. I just want to be okay. I want to make sure everything that I need, I have. You know what I mean? And it's comfortable. I'm not worried about, how am I going to pay all of my bills next month? I don't want to worry about that at all.
Right. So that financial freedom. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting to that point of success. Mm-hmm. Because what I really want is the time, the freedom to just create. Right. And then I can delegate all that extra stuff. Like when it comes to entrepreneurship, like the onboarding and emails and accounting. Yeah. Like all of that, I do. Like I'll get stuck for a couple hours on an email. Like, how are you supposed? What do you say? Should I say kind regards, or should I say warmly? Like, I don't know. And now I'm thinking,
say warmly.
Like, what do I say? Like, do I say all is well? Like, you know,
because
so it's just
after you all just of these things.
I don't want to worry about that. Yeah. Like, I just want to be able to create. Mm-hmm. And do these kind of things. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to be able to wake up, be able to do my morning pages, journal, take my kids to school, and then like I have the time to meet with people. Like, I'll have a couple meetings, or we can create some content, and I can get all this stuff done before the kids come home. Yes. And then once the kids come home, then it's just all about getting them together. Then they go to bed, and then I want to just be able to do the things that I want to do, like draw or just write or think about what I'm going to talk about with my podcast. You know, like that's success for me. So I feel like I'm almost there. I just got to get a house. I don't like the place I'm in. Yeah. But once I do that, I'm successful.
Right? Look, you said I'm successful.
I'm good, you know? And it's just, you continue to just elevate and evolve. And then you just...
Because all success is for you to have a goal.
Feel.
Yeah, have a goal and get to it. Right. You succeeded. Mm-hmm. You succeeded. You made it to your goal, and that is success. So, like, as long as you continue to, you know, make goals, and then when you get there, you then have the option to be like, okay, I checked off everything on my goal list. Now it's time to make a new goal list. All right, what are some areas I can change here? And it's all about just making you comfortable.
Making those micro adjustments. Like,
it's not a survival thing anymore. Yeah. You know?
And I think that's what helps with the journaling. Like, you know, just writing down your thoughts and, like, being self-aware. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the bread and butter. That's what you need to really. I think I wasn't aware of what was going around like until I started actually doing this inner work stuff and getting clear on the things that I wanted and what I didn't want, you know? Yeah. Like, so it's deep, but I'm excited because if I'm continuing on this path, then I get to pass this along to my kids and they get a better version of me. So like they don't have to grow up in any kind of like I don't know what confusion, because like as I grew up, like now that I'm older, I understand. Like my mom, she really did the best that she could. Like and then with all the things that were going on with her being like kind of the black sheep in her family. Like she allowed, like as I'm thinking about it, she let me be me for the most part, you know. Yeah. There was like, you know, some back and forth with the I don't know what it is about black moms sometimes, like they feel like they're in competition with their daughters. Like I feel like my mom was kind of like jealous of me a little bit. Like it was weird. That's
a common thing that I hear.
It was weird, but like now that I'm grown, like I can see that she really did a good job. Like seeing it has other people and how they turned out. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. But now it's like, I feel like it's up to me now to kind of help her through it, but then also kind of laying that foundation for my daughter so that she doesn't have to feel the way that I felt sometimes. Right. You know, like feeling like, oh, my mom doesn't like me, or like, you know, I'm doing something wrong, or even having those difficult conversations with boys and sex and our emotions. Like little girls, like girls, we're going to be sassy. We're going to, you know, let them be them. You don't got to slap their legs and all that stuff. No. If she got an attitude, let her have an attitude. Like, you know, it's okay. She'll come around.
You know, this leg slapping cracks me up.
Yes,
so like, you don't gotta slap their legs.
Cause don't hit my baby. Like, she's okay. If she want to have a tantrum, let her have her tantrum in the corner over there. Like, she'll be all right.
We continue living over here. Like,
right. They be like, really, Shanell, you just going, yes, she's okay.
I'm cracking
She'll come back and give me a kiss. Like, you know.
That is so funny because that's just hilarious. But no, the whole, like, black moms and daughters things, I like how you said, like, how the roles kind of reverse. Like, moms at first, they have to figure out how to do their best to help us, right? Like, how to at least spark the first thing that's going to make us be good decision makers. Like, they can't really mold who we're going to be, but as long as we're good decision makers, that's going to transfer into something good. You know what I mean? And then the roles end up reversing to where it's kind of like we're helping them. And I feel like where that happens is everything that we go through or that we're afraid of, we mold the ones beneath us to be a better version. You know what I mean? And who was it that said my mom is they said like my mom is the better version of my grandmother's. Who said, was that Erica Badu that said something like that? I don't know,
but I like her. She's my cousin.
She's my cousin. Well, she's my auntie. She's my
Pisces.
She's my auntie. No, right. But yeah, I feel like that's what it is. As women birth women, it's always like, okay, this is going to be the better version of our model. Like, we're already a model, and then this is the 2.0, 3.0. And as they get older, there's going to be something that we lacked. And they're going to be like, you know, I'm just going to do... I'm going to give, my mom did the best that she can, but now I can give better. And then like her daughter is like, my mom did the best. Like, you know, there's always something that's going to, you know, going to be off to them. Look, that's success to me. Yeah. Like if your bloodline continues to upgrade, and like we're not downgrading, that's success in itself. You know what I mean? In the bloodline, in the cycle. So
I think that's dope though. I'm so excited. Like my son, I didn't know what to do. Like I knew he was gonna be a mama's boy. He is, but like, you know, having a daughter and not like she does. I mean, you saw her dad, but she does look like me too.
No, she definitely looks like
me.
But he definitely got that face. He got it.
But just like wow, I get to like raise a daughter.
Yeah.
I think that's like so special. I don't know, because they're just so precious. They're so like fragile. You know, like when you think about like how you were thinking in certain situations, and like I was young, like, you know, just with boys and stuff, like, and I get it. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't go to my mom about boys. Like, she kind of was like, you better not.
Yeah.
No, boys, are you having sex? I'm playing outside. Like, I'm not even worried about that. Like, now you put that in my head. Now I should. Like, should I have sex? Like, you know, that's not how it's supposed to go, you know, but it's not a bad thing. You have to educate your kids, and she got brothers and a dad, so it's gonna be fun. She gonna know what it is, like, cause like me, I didn't have my dad growing up, so and my mom didn't have her dad growing up, so like we kind of was looking for that dad in the other people, you know, not so much me. I mean, kind of, but like not as much as it was, like you know, for my mom, like I kind of was able. I had a little mishap in 8th grade. But then, like,
a little mishap.
9th grade, I was going to Perry. Nobody was going to Perry. Like, you know, so it was like my way of starting over. Yeah. You know, like, fuck everybody. I'm on Perry.
That was your fresh start. That was your fresh start. I'm right.
Like,
what you say? Y'all don't know my business here. No, that's funny because that's like that's an ongoing joke about women. Like, women will move away and think that they're just a whole new person.
Right,
because
like,
nobody knows.
Start over.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, Shanell, you was, like...
You don't know me.
No, listen, I used to... Because my mom, she worked a lot. So, I used to have the little boys in my house. We wasn't doing nothing, but I definitely would be laying on their laps, and they would brush my hair.
Girl! So they would brush my hair, like... Not brushing my hair.
Yes, I had the little boys brushing my hair. Like,
see, that's that pretty hair, girls with pretty hair chronicles. I don't know nothing about that. Listen, I'm cracking up.
That's
she
funny.
said they'll be brushing my
hair. They be
hair.
on our porch and we ain't even near. And they on our porch. We show up. There's people on our porch. Like,
girl,
and it's crazy because we're about to move.
Really?
Yeah. So we're not gonna have that house no more. That was like the house I grew up in.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Is that a thing for you, or is it like
I'm gonna record. I told my mom we're gonna get cute and we're gonna record, like, you know, our times and, like, you know, just reminisce on that before
like
we
a
leave.
Little memory.
At the end of March, it's a wrap. It's over. Aww. She found her lease and she signed her lease in 1998.
So, like, how is she feeling? Like, is she excited to move, or
my mom don't give it? My mom, she don't think about that kind of stuff. I'd be the one to think, like, tell her that. Like, even, like...
1998.
Yeah, like, my little cousin, he passed. He was, I don't know if you saw that with him and then his girlfriend and the baby and the dog, like, they all passed. Yes. That was my cousin. Like, that was he's very special to me. So, like, it was the baby, his birthday, he would have been 4. So we went to the cemetery for his birthday. But then my mom, she was like, you see that little light pole or whatever, that water spout or something? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's where Raymond, your brother, is. Like, because she had a baby before me. He was stillborn. And I'm like, oh, nice. I'm like, Mom, why don't you talk about him? Like, he was here. Like, you should, and that's me being able to, like, say that to her. Like, I don't know, maybe back in that time, like, you know, they wasn't feeling. It is different now because my mom had me young, so she had him when she was super young. But I'm like, we should talk about him more. Like, what you mean? That was my brother.
Right.
Like, you know, so, like, I be having to give that tough love to her. Like, no, you should talk about Raymond. Like, talk about him. We got enough money. Let's give him a tombstone now. Like, you know, let's talk about it. So, I think I'm my mom's therapist for real.
Yeah. No, I feel like moms and daughters, when they have a relationship, that's what it becomes. It's like you kind of, because it's almost like they get a chance to sit down and talk to their younger selves.
Right.
Like, did you ever see that commercial with LeBron where he's talking to his younger self, his teenage self on the bed?
I love that.
And I feel like that's how moms
we should do that.
feel. I know. cool. I feel like that's how moms feel when they get to sit and talk to us. Like, it's like them looking at their younger selves and, like, being able to say what they wish they could have said to them when they were our age. You know what I mean? And also us being able to say to them what we want to say to our older selves. Like, what we don't want to, like, you know, the things that we might see unfair. Like, we don't want to be fearful of that. So let me tell my mom, like, you know, don't fear that. Like, it's cool. It's going to be good. Do what you want to do.
I tell her that now. I'm like, Mom, you got so much more life. Yes, and that's what me helping her. But then it kind of is a little hard for me, too, because sometimes I just want my mom.
Yeah.
And to get advice, but then I'm the one being the mother sometimes. Well, I feel that I'm the one. So I feel like it sometimes it's a little hard for me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it just in times like that you gotta like be able to mourn. Yeah. Like knowing that you might not get that version of, you know, your mom. And it's okay. Yeah. But then adapting and, you know, being grateful for what you have now. Being grateful for you have a mom, you know?
Right. Like she's here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And she's open and she's taking my advice and stuff, you know? But then it's okay to seek that out in other people. Yeah. You know?
Like things that we haven't seen. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Because it's kind of a chance. It's really that chance that you get to talk to your older self before you become that age. Because we're not going to understand exactly what they're going through and what they're growing through until we're their age, you know? Because there's so much stuff that I remember my mom saying I didn't get it until now or until I was at that age or until I was engaging into those things that she was telling me. And I'm like, okay, I see now.
When that wisdom comes in, that's what it is. They say, what they say, knowledge is not power, knowledge is potential power. Mm-hmm. It's the wisdom. Mm-hmm. Like when you put in that action in, like that's, and I feel like that's where now I'm on that level. Mm-hmm. Like where it's just like, dang, like everything is so clear and you just like, damn, like the world is just different. Yeah. Like
it's that true understanding.
So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
It's dope. So it makes things like, it makes it good.
And just imagine me, like, I haven't even had my first child yet. Right. So I know that I always think about this because I'm happy that I gave myself 28 years to just be me, right? Right. So now that I actually kind of, like, understand me, the only thing I have absolutely no idea about, I can't even, like, guess, is how I'm going to be as a mom.
And you will not know until you look at that baby.
Yes!
Like, it's just different. It's actually a name for it. It's called parent paradox. Like, once you become a parent, everything changed. Like, as soon as you look at your baby,
life is different. Yeah. I hear it all the time.
It's so dope. It's hard, and but like everything is hard. You choose your heart.
Everything.
Choose your heart. It's going to be hard. Everything. Like, if you're not a parent, like, you know, everything's hard. Choose your heart. Everything. What kind of hard you trying to do?
Exactly. And I'm like, yo, I know that once I become a mom, that's going to be a whole nother world. Like, a whole nother thing.
But you're going to be prepared. Like, you're already ready.
Right. And, well, I can't say right, but I know that I'm going to be straight because there's so much stuff that we didn't see coming and then we're straight. But the thing is the relation to my mom, like being able to relate to my mom. I can relate to her on levels now as a woman because I'm now a woman. Mm-hmm. I was a girl before. So I could relate to her as a girl. Now I can relate to her as a woman. But when I become a mother, I feel like that's when everything's going to come full circle. I'm going to be like, relate to her as that. This is why you was crazy. Right.
And this is exactly why I don't let nobody hit my kids. Like,
I'm going to be like, oh, this is what you were trying to... Because, like, even as a daughter, I start realizing, like, this is what you're trying to save me from. This is what you were telling me. This. So when I have my own kid, I'm going to be like, no, this is really why you were trying to save me. Because it's like that feeling. I have absolutely no idea how it feels to want to protect something so bad. You know what I mean?
It makes life just a little, it's wild. Because now you got to protect, like, my safe spot. This is what I realized because I have 2 children with different dads. So when I feel the most comfortable and safe is when I have both of my kids with me. Mm-hmm. Like, I can think of the craziest things. I don't know. I think everybody does. Like, they think of crazy things, but, like, I'm like, if something pop off, I just gotta have my kids. Like, so when I have them both, like, with me, like, it's so special.
Yeah.
Like, both of us, like, all of us together, like, just me and
like
my
you
kids.
Feel whole.
Like, yeah. Because I gotta share Bryce with his dad. Like,
just me and my kids.
I gotta be a good co-parent. Like, you know, that's his other parent, whatever. But, like, that, like, because you want to protect your kids, like every little thing, like even when I'm yelling at Ryan, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Give me a hug.
Her little feelings. Aww.
Like, no, Ryan. She's like, like, okay.
Girl, I don't know.
No, don't do that. No, it's not nice.
I don't know if I'm ready. Because I'm like, I feel like
you gotta
I'm
be
already
animated
so
like
wishy-washy.
that. Like, it's not nice. That's not
That's
nice.
what they understand. You said it's not nice. Look, I'm not ready.
You'll be ready.
I mean, I feel like I'm ready, but I don't know if I'm ready because like I said, I'm already so wishy-washy. So it's that back and forth, like the not want to hurt their feelings, but wanting to make sure they know that that's
but then
not good.
They'll be all right because when you yell at them, they come to you like, you're like, hey,
like
you're not supposed
like you
to
just
do
pissed
that.
me off, but you're the comfort. So
right.
here,
like, that's why Bryce is like, I took what you said, and I said I can be what I want to be. I can do what I want to do. He's like, Mom, you were right. The girls do like me.
Oh my god!
I'm like, dang. They're like, Bryce, they don't care if I'm there.
Ooh. They be running right up to you. You said, Mom, you were right. The girls do like me.
Like, they tried to kiss me, and I said, I'm too young for that.
Ooh.
I'm like, this is kindergarten.
What did he say? Now, I saw somebody post on Facebook. A little girl wrote a note to her son, right? And she gonna be like, y'all need to get y'all daughters. She found a note in his backpack. The little girl was talking about, so, like, are you still my friend?
So
because
cute.
I still like you, and I think you're handsome. And the way she spelled it was had some, like HADSUM. I think you still handsome. I'm like, I'm not prepared for this because I don't know if I'm gonna take it serious enough. Like, I'm gonna be purely entertained by these kids. I swear.
Right, that's dope.
That's amazing. So, I feel like we've had
this
a nice
was good.
chat.
Yeah, I know. We talked all things motherhood, entrepreneurship,
all things women,
friendship a little bit. So we are friends, and we're going to do more things together. Because
absolutely,
this year, 2023, I keep telling everyone this is the year. My mantra for 2023 is be her now.
Yes.
So you said this is what you want to be. Mm-hmm. Like, I wrote down who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to have. Like, how do I show up as her now? Mm-hmm. You know, I got what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. Now it's just time to put it in action. That's where people, they dream, but they don't do it. Mm-hmm. You know, so you got to be a doer and not just a dreamer. It's okay to dream, but, like, put those dreams in action.
Yeah, bring it to reality.
So, like, how can you do that? So be her now.
I love that. Be her right now.
Right
now.
Relationships. I want to have better relationships. I want to build a better relationship with you because we dope together.
I know.
You know? Like, come on. So, it's going to be good, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like this is the time in life. You know what I mean? So, in closing, because I feel like we've chopped...
Right, because we be doing that. We just be talking.
I know. Look, we talked so much that we didn't even finish a bottle. That almost never happens on this show.
Okay.
Because we were chatting. No, but in closing, I think that, like, me personally, and I want you to go next and say what you want to say.
Okay.
I want to encourage the girls, because we are girls and we are Black women. I want to encourage the Black women out there to realize that there is more than enough. You know what I mean? There's more than enough. There's no scarcity. You can do whatever you want to do no matter how many people are doing it, and do it your way, and you're going to eat. You will. You just got to find your place, find how you want to do it, and do it. I also want to encourage us to work together. You know, once you figure out what you want to do, find other people who are doing it and work together. You know, be a good partner, because that's the only way you're going to climb the ladder. You can't do it all by yourself. Like, we have to break up with the mindset of do it all. I do it all. I'm self-made. We have to break up with self-made because we need people. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I need you. I feel like if I never found you, I wouldn't understand how awesome it is to have a content partner and, you know, do what we do. Like, right. I value that a lot more. Now that we do that for real. So I really want women to adopt that, you know? Right. So, yeah.
So, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Well, I want to first just thank you for having me on the show. And I do think that we need to continue to be in spaces with other like-minded.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to just say women, like just like-minded people who can, you know, push us and maybe see different views of us, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
A gem that I have is just to continue to explore just yourself, figure out who you are. And I know a lot of people say that, but like, do you really know who you are? Without the titles, without being a mom, without being a business person, like, who is that person? Figure out ways to uncover that person. Rather, if it's journaling, figuring out, like, you know, your story, just how were you raised? Like, what are some things that affected you? Like, when you think about your story, when you think about, like, how you were brought up, who are the people that inspire you? And you need to surround yourself with those kind of people. Definitely.
That's a good one.
Be a part of, build up your business partnerships. I was just talking about this with my luncheon. Build up those partnerships, like the people who are doing the things that you want to do. Mm-hmm. Build up those social partnerships. Find a mentor that can hold you accountable, so that when those times when you don't feel like doing it, those being like, nah, we're going to do it. And then when you're surrounded with other people who are just continuing to do it, that's going to motivate you to do it, because you're sitting around like, damn, they did all this. Like, even you, like, you continuing to like build your YouTube. And I've been said that I wanted to get back into YouTube, and I filmed. I got a whole bunch of content. I got a couple videos that are already done. But now it's time to actually do it, and surrounding myself with people like you to continue to, like, you know what, she's doing so good. That's going to encourage me to continue to do the same. And then I can encourage the other person. So continuing to find those continue to find those people, those partnerships, all of that, to continue to pour into you so that you can pour into other people. Right. But remembering that, like, you're not supposed to pour from an empty cup. You're supposed to pour from your overfill.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand. Right. They give, and then they're empty, and then they're realizing and wondering why they can't continue to move forward, because you're tired. Yep. You're burnt out. Yep. Take a break. Figure out, like, what it is that you need to do. You don't have to do it all today. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes our goals, you can have a goal that might take 5 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, like, continue on it. Like, continue those little steps. Sometimes, just remembering, we're going to be learning and we're going to be striving and stuff for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
So figuring out how you can be happy now, but remember, don't tie your happiness to your goals, though.
Right.
Because if you don't, then you're going to be feeling like you're less than because you didn't accomplish something. No, you got to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey as you're on there, and being grateful for all the shit that you have. I'm grateful that I can even afford to be in this space to give myself some love, like, you know, like, so I don't got to be in a dark ass house for my birthday. You know, like, so just being grateful, being mindful. Try starting to learn about self-awareness, having that self-compassion.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's going to change the game. Like, so that you can start being a better version of you. And then that energy just seeps off of you, and then it just transfers to other people, and then now they can feel the same way that you're feeling. Yeah. Because when you feeling up and you're feeling this high, you ain't gonna want to go down. I mean, you're gonna go down sometimes, but I'm just saying, like, you're gonna want to get back up to there, but then you can inspire other people to do the same. So that was a lot. It was a little bit of tangents and all of that. Hopefully you were able to get some kind of gems from that.
Yes.
I really do hope so.
There was a lot in there. Yeah. For real. Okay. For sure. Okay. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited. I know. I wish I could, like, speed up time. Look, this is what we talking about, like, be patient. But I really wish I could speed up time so I can get these new episodes out, like, now.
But it's going to be hot. You're going to be dropping it.
It's going to be beautiful.
And then we're going to have some content, like, extra content to go, like, with it. And then you can give it to me so that I can, like,
it's going to be beautiful, girl. I'm like 6 episodes, like, out.
That's good.
Yeah, so I'm like
you. See, that's what I'm saying. Motivation.
Before y'all see this, y'all are
she already
get, like, 6
in there.
More episodes. Yeah, like season 1 still hasn't finished airing. Oh, look at you! Look.
Sorry.
Look. I'm cracking up. No, season 1 still has not finished airing though.
That's dope.
I still have a lot of season 1 to air. So by the time y'all see this is only the 2nd episode of season 2. We got a lot of things in store. There's going to be a reunion, everything. Ooh. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And everybody who's filmed with me is invited. So I can't wait to share that.
We're going to take it up a notch from the one. We're going to be taking shots.
Not I, says Malaya, because liquor, nope, we broke up.
Nah, for real. I don't know my limit no more.
We broke up.
I'm not a drinker no more. I'll do wine.
Girl, we done broke up. So by the time y'all see this will be after y'all had a chance to see the full season of season 1. After you see the season 1 reunion, like, there's so much beautiful stuff to come, even before this beautiful episode. So just stick around, you guys, and I hope y'all are excited because I'm so excited.
Right?
I'm so excited. It's just up from here, and I'm excited to expand our relationship, like you talked about.
I like how you said that. Expand our relationship.
Yes.
I'm gonna put that in the social media post.
Ah! I love how you're, like, so wordy. Like, you'll hear something and you'll be like, oh my God, that's so good.
Right. Yes. That's good. Because I be trying to figure out how there's so much going on in my head.
Yes.
I be trying to figure out how to get it out so that other people can understand what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. And it sound good and I sound, like, smart.
I'm going to start hitting you up for captions. Like, Shanell, what should I say about this?
Listen, and then I got to put you on this technology shit.
Yes, the AI. You always tell me about that.
Oh my God.
Look, y'all. We got a business meeting to have.
Right. Like, because that's a whole nother episode.
I can't wait. She's been talking about this AI for so long, and I can't wait for you to show it to me. So, we're going to close out for real this time, because we done said it about 3 or 4 times, but for real. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you guys so much. Wait, tell them where they can find you before we do close out.
Okay, yes. So, you can find me at Shanell Lamere. Or you can look at my videography stuff at Shanell Lamere Films. And my baby, like, what I love Shanell Lamere Films. Listen, they both in together. Okay, so listen, take that out. All right, so you hear me? All right, so you can find me at Shanell Lamere. That is my main page. However, if you would like to look at the things that I'm into, definitely hit up Shanell Lamere Films or what she grows through. The aesthetics is popping. Okay, I'm trying my best, and it really looks good. And we're gonna do so much. There's gonna be a lot of collaborations between the two. Now I'm trying to figure out how I can connect Shanell Lamere Films with what she grows through, so that it takes more of the weight off of me, so it doesn't feel like I'm literally
running
three things.
Yes.
That's why I don't do so much, because, like, it's just like, all right, what am I going to do for this? What am I going to do for this?
Right.
So yeah, you can find me at those pages, and then definitely go up to anywhere that you can look at or listen to podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm even on Audible. Yes, at what she grows through, and listen to some of those. They're very, very good, and I really took the time out to try to give you as many gems as possible. And there's just so many that I didn't even do yet. So it's gonna be up from there.
Listen, y'all, she puts her heart into this thing, and it shows. So make sure y'all go support.
I really do be trying. Like,
for real, make sure y'all go support. And if you are not, listen. This is season 2, episode 2.
Season 2, episode 2.
If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber right now, like, what are you really doing?
Right, subscribe, like, share.
It's free.
I know you was loving the vibes.
Listen, it's free to subscribe, so do it. You're here a whole season later.
Right.
And it's episode 2, so you gonna watch the whole season.
I'm
excited.
Let's
get it. Subscribe, you guys. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Cheers. Happy Wind Down Wednesday. Bye, you guys.